There's a specific kind of person you've probably met at least once. Everything is falling apart around them in a tense moment. And yet, they don't react the way everyone else does. The project just collapsed, and the situation is genuinely bad. People in the room are spiraling, silent, or avoiding eye contact. Some pretend nothing happened by staring at their phones. And this one person just shifts. No dramatic reaction, no speech, no panic. They simply settle into the chaos calmly. It's like the mess gives them something solid to hold. Within minutes, they start moving and thinking out loud. They begin breaking the problem into pieces. Slowly, the energy in the room begins to change. People start breathing easier without realizing it. Their presence alone reshapes the situation. Watching this creates two feelings at once. Relief that they are there to handle it, and a quiet question that feels uncomfortable. Why isn't that me? Why don't I respond like that under pressure? Why do I freeze instead of act? That question is worth answering properly. But the answer isn't what most people expect. It goes deeper than simple advice. This is not a list of habits or routines. It's not about waking up early or journaling. That surface-level advice misses the real point. What matters is the internal structure underneath, the psychological system guiding their response, the unseen architecture behind their behavior. These structures shape how they face chaos, and most people were never taught to build them, so they never develop this response pattern. By the end, something will quietly shift in you. You'll see problems differently than before, and more importantly, yourself within them. Let's begin with the first misunderstanding. People assume it's about calmness or control. They think it's some natural emotional mastery, like a Zen-like detachment from stress, something a few people are born with, and others simply don't have. But that assumption is completely wrong. The truth is more precise and more interesting. It starts inside the brain's evaluation system. Psychologist Richard Lazarus studied this deeply. His theory explains how we process situations. Before emotions even begin to form, the brain asks two quick questions automatically. Is this a threat or a challenge? Do I have what it takes to handle it? Most people answer both questions negatively. They see danger and feel unprepared. That combination creates immediate stress. But the capable person answers differently. They don't feel less fear or pressure. They simply interpret the situation differently. The same situation becomes a problem to solve. Not something happening against them, but something they are being asked to handle. That small shift changes everything downstream. It affects how the body uses adrenaline and where attention is directed. Instead of pulling away, they move toward it. Their brain engages instead of shutting down. Action replaces avoidance almost instantly. What's surprising is this isn't fixed. This pattern is not something you're born with. It is learned over time, built through small repeated experiences, moments that slowly shape perception, until it becomes a default reaction. Think about the first time you saw this. Someone handling a situation calmly alone. Not dramatically, just naturally. A parent fixing a broken car without panic. A sibling solving a school problem confidently. A neighbor figuring things out quietly. These moments leave a deep impression. They reshape what you believe is possible, especially for someone like you. This is called vicarious mastery, learning by watching someone similar succeed. It updates your internal belief system. But there's something even more powerful. Direct experience beats observation every time. Doing it yourself changes everything. Psychologist Albert Bandura studied this for decades. He found the strongest factor isn't talent. It's not intelligence or even knowledge. It's the memory of trying and surviving, facing something difficult and staying with it, coming out the other side, even imperfectly, not winning perfectly or knowing everything, just not collapsing under pressure, and making some kind of progress. Each moment leaves a trace in the brain, a quiet record of past resilience, proof that you've handled difficulty before. Next time something goes wrong, that memory appears. Before panic has a chance to take over, it guides your response automatically. People who handle everything have this history. a trail of small, unseen struggles. Moments where they chose to stay. They stayed when they wanted to leave. They faced problems instead of escaping them. And those moments built their capacity. At the center of all this is a key skill. It rarely gets talked about directly, but it explains almost everything. It's called distress tolerance. The ability to function without immediate answers. To stay steady in uncertainty. It's not about toughness or suppression. It's about staying clear while unresolved. Continuing to think without closure. Most people feel urgency for resolution. An intense need to end uncertainty quickly. Even if the answer is wrong. The brain prefers a bad ending over an open, uncertain situation. Because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. But capable people tolerate that discomfort. They sit inside the unknown calmly, without losing clarity or control. This ability develops in a specific way, not during easy or smooth times, but during uncertain situations, moments with no clear solution available, where they must stay and figure it out, without being rescued immediately. They are supported but not saved, given space to think independently, allowed to struggle and learn. Sometimes mentors create these moments. Sometimes life forces them unexpectedly. Either way, the result is the same. The nervous system learns something important. Uncertainty is survivable. Not knowing is temporary. Now, there's an important truth here. Not everyone who handles things is healthy. Some learned it through pressure. For them, capability was safety. Needing help wasn't an option. Or, it came with a cost. So they built independence as protection. A version of themselves that doesn't need help. Strong, but constantly carrying weight. They become highly competent outwardly. But inside is quiet exhaustion. A fear of things falling apart. They struggle to delegate tasks. Control feels necessary, not optional. Even when it's not required. They step in first every time. And step back last. Carrying more than they should. It looks like strength from outside. But internally it's costly. A hidden burden of responsibility. Then there's another type entirely. People who handle problems out of curiosity, not pressure or survival. They genuinely enjoy figuring things out. They explore problems deeply, even when there's no reward. They revisit solved issues again, just to understand them better. When something breaks, they lean in, not with fear, but attention. Like hearing an unfamiliar sound. Being around them changes you. Not through teaching or advice, but through quiet influence. They make capability feel accessible, like it's something you can develop, not something fixed at birth. They show the gap is experience, not destiny or talent, something that can be built. At this point, you're recognizing yourself, either as the one who handles things, or the one who steps back. Maybe you rely on others in chaos, feeling both grateful and uneasy. Wanting to be different, but unsure how. That desire can feel distant, like imagining someone else's life, not something within reach. But here's the important truth. Your response isn't a flaw. It's a learned system. Your mind built it logically, based on past experiences, and what it learned from them. And systems can be updated. They are not permanent or fixed. They evolve with new input, not through one big breakthrough, but through small deliberate actions, repeated over time. Staying with something difficult, making the call you've avoided, handling what you'd normally pass on. Not because you feel ready, but because readiness comes after, not before action. That's where change begins. In small, quiet decisions. Moments your brain records. I tried, and something shifted. I stayed, and it moved forward. I can do this again. Those who handle everything weren't different. They were shaped by moments like these. Moments of effort and staying present. And that shaping is still available. It hasn't disappeared or closed off. You can still build it. If this made you think differently, share it. Someone else might need this perspective. It could shift how they see themselves. And if you want to go deeper into psychology and behavior patterns, this is what this space is for. The next video will go even further, exploring why we freeze or avoid, and how real change happens. You won't want to miss that. Because this is just the beginning.